Hello, everybody. My name is Boston. This is Josh,
What's up?
and
What's up?
this is Obsessed and Unimpressed. We are
Mm-hmm.
two lifelong friends, and one of us loves movies, which is me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obsessed with them. I've been watching my entire life, and I love them to death. And my best friend Josh is not
Nope.
on the
Um,
same kind of
I get a little
obsession that I
unimpressed.
have.
I get a little unimpressed.
The
I might say.
just a little bit unimpressed, but we decided our I wanted Josh to get into movies
Mm-hmm.
the way that I am and how much I love film and film culture, acting, directing, all of that. I love all of it, and I want Josh to, at some point, love it as much as I do, as it's brought me so much joy. So the premise of the show is we have one big list that we've gone over together of
Mm-hmm.
what movies that I absolutely love that Josh has not seen, and it
Yes.
is a big list. It
Oh
is for
my
sure a
gosh, it's a
huge list.
large list. I'm
It's at
very,
least
very
we're
inept
probably
from
in
the
this
movie world.
we're probably in the 70s for how many films we have on
Yeah,
there.
there's probably about 70 in there.
But every week Josh is going to pick one film from the list to watch and we will review it
Mm-hmm.
together. So this week as our first film, Josh has watched A Few Good Men, a
Mm.
Rob Reiner film in 1992 starring Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson, Kevin Bacon, and Demi Moore. Uh, Rob Reiner uh, is one of the underrated directors that I remember watching as a kid. He did The Princess Bride, which is my mother's favorite film. He did Stand by Me, which is a outstanding growing up film. Misery, which is the exact opposite of Stand by Me. It is a very depressing film that uh, just crushes you morally. And then When Harry Met Sally, so he kind of bounces back and forth from happy go lucky fun films to kind of dramatic, intense, very stressful type films, like the film we have watched, which is A Few Good Men. So, Josh, what did you think? I've been waiting forever
Dude,
to
he
hear
he
what
called
you
me
thought about
last
this.
night, and I told him, yeah, I watched it, and he was just like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "I can't tell you." And he said,
I just gotten back from
I,
vacation, and I was like, I have to know.
he was like,
I
you
have to
had to
know.
know. But
I had to know.
now that we're here, now that we're talking, quick, I won't go details yet,
Hmm.
but I like it. I really do like it.
That's good. That's good.
I think
Here we go.
it's
We got one.
we got our first one.
We
I
got
like it.
one.
It's all good. Um, yeah, I liked it. I think it was it was well played out. Like this the story, it was well paced.
Hmm.
It was well acted. Like the script, the acting, the cinematography, everything was great about it. Um, see, see. You want me to go details now?
You can. Going. I just love the screenplay for this film. The writing, especially in the courtroom scenes, is absolutely unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the best, like just keeping you interested um, type movies, despite being mostly on writing, despite it like being hooked basically on this has to be well written type
Mm-hmm.
of movie, and I think it aces that challenge, and I think it did a great job with it. But
Yeah.
if you want to go into details now, yeah, I've been waiting a week to hear about this.
Yeah.
I've
He
been
is.
so excited.
Let's see. Okay. I think just the callbacks, the little details that were skimmed over in the beginning,
Hmm.
then being re-referenced and all brought back in to
Beautiful. It's
to
beautiful.
to win the case is awesome.
Hmm.
Like
It's awesome.
the big number one thing that he called back that like he didn't touch on for the rest of the movie, for the entirety of the movie, except for when he saw it and then when he needed it in the courtroom,
Hmm.
was the locker. Like,
Hmm.
like that was like,
Very well
oh,
set up.
like
That is
what
very
the
well set up.
heck? Like
Which
it's
I
just
feel like we should put a spoiler warning for everyone who
Oh,
hasn't seen it, but if you're watching this, you probably have
yes.
seen it.
Go watch
You
the
should.
movie if you haven't. Go watch it
100%. 100%.
and then come back.
But um, going back to the locker, it
Yes.
is the kind of final nail in the coffin of
Mm-hmm.
like our boys are innocent.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't do anything wrong, which is like it's never said. It's never really said until the end of the film, and you really had to watch and see what was going on, understand why the cabinet being full of clothes was such a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. I loved it. But let's talk about Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson,
Tommy Boy and
who are
Jack.
both magnificent in this.
Yes.
I think Jack outpaces Tom the whole movie, despite being a definitely evil character.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Nicholson is so weirdly likable in the movie, which just speaks to how well Jack Nicholson can play any character uh, to be likable, which I think only Jack could pull off. And just the way that like you could tell he's kind of deranged, he's kind of maybe a little PTSD, maybe a little bit of stuff going on in the head there, but he is one of the best parts of the movie. The final courtroom battle between him and Tom Cruise is one of the best written scenes I've ever watched. It is
Yeah.
from beginning to end gripping you in anticipation of where it's going to go.
Yeah.
It is unreal, and the way that Tom Cruise can keep pace with Jack Nicholson is for someone like Tom Cruise, who I do think is a good actor, but not on. He's never gonna really blow you away with his acting abilities, but he is a very good actor,
Yeah.
and this kind of shows that he is a very good actor to be able to compete with the likes of Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but what did you think about the pacing of it? With how it is a long movie, I think it's 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I don't
It
remember
is a
off the
long
top.
movie. So I mean, for you, for somebody that like doesn't really watch and love as many films as I do, what did you think about the length and the pacing of a movie like this?
It didn't feel long. It felt like
And the best kind.
I was gonna say like I wanted to take notes during the movie, but I couldn't because
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
take my eyes off of the movie.
Yeah,
Like that's how much I liked it. I was just like I was sucked the entire time.
I gotta pay attention.
Yeah.
I can't just be on my own. I
Mhm.
have to pay attention, which
Yeah.
is I think the point of the film. It's not like you turn on them on your phone in the background type movie. It
Yeah.
demands to be at full attention the whole
Yes.
time,
Yes.
which I absolutely love, and I think it deserves every second of that attention.
Mhm. Mhm.
But um, and I can't stress enough how good the screenplay is for this movie. There's a scene in particular where Tom Cruise is talking to Kevin Bacon, who's also in the movie,
Mhm.
who is again, you don't expect a great acting performance, but it is a great acting performance from Kevin Bacon
Yeah, he did a good
as
job.
not the antagonist, but rather the just the other side of the conflict
Yeah.
of the movie. And there's a scene where Tom figures out that rather than um, the two soldiers acting on their own accord to murder one of the cellmates, he finds out that a code red had been issued to attack their fellow soldier.
Mhm.
And he goes up to Kevin Bacon to kind of be like, this is a trial. We're like this is something that you can't ignore." And the way Kevin handles that situation uh, made me believe he was a lawyer. Which, funny enough, I don't believe Tom is a lawyer, but I believe Kevin Bacon is in that movie. But the way
Yeah.
Kevin kind of handles that situation, would just be like, yeah, he's got me by the balls, but in the courtroom, he knows he'll lose. Is such a good moment
Yeah.
in the film of
Yeah.
like this isn't a open and shut case. This is gonna be a battle for who's gonna get the win here. And there's multiple moments like that in the film where you could tell the battle is not over. Every time one side seems to kind of pull ahead, something happens that throws one side completely on its tail. It is constantly making you anxious about how uh, the court will rule the defense. But uh, yeah, what did you think about all of the drama and all the little things that you kind of, I guess, underappreciate while you're watching it, but now you had some time to think about?
Um. Okay. Okay. I like the respect between the two lawyers. Like, still, like,
Mm.
yes, they work together, but at the same
Well, they're
time, they're
friends.
going
They're
head to head.
friends,
Yeah, yeah. Like,
which is very interesting.
I appreciated the fact that they had that bar scene where he went
Mm-hmm.
and met up with him and talked to him,
Right.
and Tom blew up at him. But
Yeah.
because it's like yes, they're friends, but at the same time, they've been able to keep this respect in the courtroom. So that was
Mm-hmm.
really just really well written, really well done by them. Um, see, the whole idea of trying to get Jack Nicholson to like get it out of him,
Mm-hmm.
but Tom having a hunch that like he wants to say it is was
I'm
like
so happy you brought.
because like when I heard it, I was like, no, he knows he can't say it, so he's not
Yeah.
gonna.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he did.
I like that Tom kind of understands that Jack isn't the kind of person that wants to do something in the shadows. He wants to be seen doing any kind of command to get kind of his glory
Yes.
of this is my unit, this is my base, everything that I say goes. Look what my men will do
Mm-hmm.
because I say they have to.
Yeah.
It's like the way that Tom kind of figures that out just from one meeting alone is very, very interesting, very well put together interaction at the very least, because the first meeting is very hostile, which I thought set up beautifully that Kevin Bacon isn't the villain of the film.
Yeah.
Whereas in any other film, I feel like Kevin Bacon would be pinned as the villain to Tom. But you figure out like during the trial that there's still a big fish out there that's got to be brought in. And when
Yeah.
he is brought in, oh my God, is it magnificent?
Oh my god, it is
Oh, is
magnificent.
it great?
The big one.
Oh, is it great?
He's a big
Let's
one.
talk about that. Let's talk about that final court scene there.
Okay.
Um, Outstanding.
Oh yeah, like
Outstanding.
just had me on my toes the whole time.
Oh yeah,
Like
the back and forths.
just so good.
Are we clear? Like Crystal is so good. That is such a good dig
Yeah.
of like Tom saying that, like, because Jack wants to be respected, and
Mm-hmm.
that's his big weakness is that he wants to be respected, and he wants everyone to know that he demands to be respected.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the giveaway was
He told the judge that he wants to be
he wants
referred
to be
to
referred to as
as Sir or
Sir or
Commander
Colonel.
or Colonel. Sorry,
Yep.
yeah. And then the judge was like, okay. And then then
He's
goes
like, I
on
don't
to
know what
make
kind
a
of clown
snarky
show you
comment.
got running here.
And then the judge is like, I am to refer to be as judge or whatever
As
because
judge, I believe
I've
the
earned
court
it
will
too.
refer to as judge or
Whatever it says.
sir. I think it was judge or sir.
Okay.
And he's like, I'm quite certain I've earned it. And you
Yeah.
can see Jack going, oh, wait.
It's like, whoa, okay.
That gets you. That
Yeah.
gets you excited. Cause,
Yeah.
and another thing,
It's just
it's
tension
nice
building. Ah, I loved it.
even after that moment, it's nice to see the judge is still very neutral. Because
Yes.
after Tom starts
Yes.
yelling at
Well
him,
played.
"Did you order the code red?" The judge says you don't have to answer that, and he yells it at him as like a, "Hey, this is a trap. You do not have to fall for this."
Yeah.
It's like you. It's great to see without a shadow of a doubt that this was a fair trial, which is you don't see that a lot in courtroom movies. A lot of the time you'll see that the judge is partial one way or the other,
Yeah.
but having it be neutral really makes it interesting that it puts it in the hands of the defense and the prosecution teams to
Yeah, I
kind
like
of
that.
let that happen. And It's also very interesting to uh, have it to where you don't know for sure. It's very heavily implied that this is the truth, that they were given a code red,
Mm-hmm.
but you never see it. They don't
Yes.
show it.
Never
They
see it.
don't.
Never show it.
You're going off the testimony of two Marines
Yes.
that this is what happened.
And that's why the screenplay is so good because
Hmm.
you know it,
Yeah.
they know it,
In your gut, you're
but
like, this is
but
what actually happened.
it's never shown.
It's never like, hey, yeah, you guys are right. This is exactly what happened. It's
Yeah.
more of like, hey, you're on the defense team, believe like whether you believe it or not,
Yeah, exactly.
right? And it puts you in the minds of a defense kind of not aware, not without a shadow of a doubt aware that
Mhm.
your clients are innocent,
Yeah.
right? Which Kevin Bacon points out very well with his "Where did you hear the command from?" Where
Oh,
he
yeah.
finds out that he didn't like he could not have been at the barracks at the same time the order was given,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
he had to have learned it from somebody else, which kind of pokes a hole in the. Now it's all on one Marine that heard an order
Mhm.
without witnesses at all.
Which like
Big blow.
wasn't it
Big blow.
her fault though?
Yes.
Because she
Yes.
was like trying to give him the script to say it.
Hmm. Right.
So, yeah, like she just threw it under the rug because she just didn't think it would be a problem. But
Right.
but the offense found out, hey, he was
The
over
offense got
there
it.
when they said that
They
they
had
were
a
saying,
nice.
yeah. It was good.
They were pulling running plays and threw a hail mary out of nowhere and
Mhm.
got it
And got it. And got
and
it.
got it. A couple interesting things off the scenes. Julianne or Debbie Moore, um, she was in the running for it with Jodie Foster and I think Cameron Diaz for the role, and
Okay.
she said, "I'll do it for $1 million less than the other two will,"
Whoa.
because she wanted it so bad.
Wow. Okay.
She loved the script so much. She said, "Like I'll do it for $1 million less," and then she got it, and she is unbelievable in it.
Yeah, I think she
Uh,
does a great job, but but I
if
think
you had to pick a weak point, she is the weak point of the
yeah,
film.
I was going to say her character is just a little dry. Like I think
Little dry, a little dry.
it's just like
And that's not to say that it is a bad character. It is very
no.
well written. It is clear that she is new to this, and you are like
Yeah.
very much aware.
Yeah, I just think like they focus a whole lot of time and energy into
Mm-hmm.
writing like how this case was going to unfold and how they were going to win versus
Mm-hmm.
like the side characters basically.
Yeah.
Like every other character,
Other than Jack and Tom,
yeah,
there
like
really
I
isn't much character development between
yeah.
anybody else in the film, which I don't think it needs. I do not think it needs.
Yeah, I
But I
just
would appreciate it.
yeah,
I would have
exactly. It
appreciated
just would have
more
been
if they had put it in.
a nice touch, which it's like
Yeah.
we're here now, so it's like what can you do? And
Yeah.
like it's like
And
how could they have
it's
done it better? Like we don't know that
yeah.
because we're just
If there
the
is one
consumer.
critique, it would be Demi Moore's performance could be a little bit better, and that's not to say that it is bad. I loved any scene that she is in, but I mean
Yeah, I just yeah.
compared to because I put her on the same level as Tom, Jack, and Kevin
Mhm.
in the film, in terms of talent for the movie. And if you had to rank them, I think Demi would rank at the bottom of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I just her character like was always a little too sharp except for the scenes that she wasn't supposed to be sharp. Like
However, I think
however.
I think that's deliberate. That she's supposed to be um,
Yeah, but it shows no
kind of overconfident.
yes, but it shows no development. It's just like
Yeah,
the whole point of
I.
learning characters in my opinion
Hmm.
that are
Yeah.
love interests because
Hmm.
they don't end up being love interests, but like it's clear
Right.
she's supposed to
Which I
be
have.
a form of a love interest. Kind of like a
So.
Sonic and Amy, you know?
Mhm.
It's like
Hmm.
she clearly likes him, but he just acknowledges it and does nothing about it. But
Yeah. Yeah.
her, like, because if it's that sort of relationship, in my eyes, she is to start sharp and then end soft, which in my eyes she does
Mm.
not end soft. She still
Mm.
is sharp a little bit. She does
Right.
soften up, but she's still sharp at the end.
Right.
But that's just me.
I can't disagree with a lot. I can't disagree with a lot of that. I will say there is character development there.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the film, she very much knows when to strike during the trial,
Except
when
when she
to.
freaking what was it? She like what did she call? Here's what was it? In the court where she like
Oh,
called
Tom.
over and over and over again, she called something. What was it?
Oh, like I
Object
overrule your objection.
the objection. She objected like
Yeah.
3 times over.
Yeah. Yeah. To the point where the judge is like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Um, which again early in the trial, so you kind of see that she's
Yeah.
kind of like
She's
new to
new.
it. But towards the if there is any development, it would be in the courtroom because towards the end of the trial, she is very much improved on when she should strike and speak
Yeah, like
while the trial is going on
it's
to kind of
shows
counteract what Kevin Bacon's team is doing.
yes, it shows that she
A good
learned from
example
it.
is yeah, a good example would be when Tom brings in the the two Marines that were working the airport the night that Santiago was supposed to leave
Yeah.
the airport uh, to kind of show that Jack Nicholson altered the flight logs to say that the only flight would be the next day rather than that night,
Mhm.
which pokes a hole in his. And Kevin Bacon says that the witnesses were not on the sheets beforehand that they traded. So he says that these shouldn't be admitted into the trial. And she stands up and makes a brilliant defense to say that they are allowed in here.
Mhm.
And I think earlier in the film she wouldn't have done that.
No.
So to say that she does it at the end of the film shows a little bit of character development there, which I really do appreciate and I love.
Right.
But not to like knock her at all, because again, I think in any other film she would be the best part of the film. But she's going up against titans
Yeah, yeah,
of
yeah.
cinema
Yeah.
in Jack Nicholson, Tom Cruise, Kevin Bacon, a ton of brilliant actors, and she's the only real lead female in the film to kind of put a little bit more pressure on her.
Yeah, the only other
Um,
female is the only females that have talking lines are like the
uh,
parents and the
the
aunt.
parents,
Yeah.
the parents and the aunt, which puts a lot. I guess it puts a lot more pressure on her to kind of perform at a higher level.
Yeah.
Um, and I think things could be better, but overall, I think she did an outstanding job
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
in that.
definitely did. Definitely think she did a good job, but this is a movie
And it
podcast.
kind of to kind of show you where the studio was at the time. Rob Reiner, the director, he told a story that some unnamed producer, he wouldn't say who, when they casted the film and they wrote the script, um, they brought it to a producer, and he said, the producer said that if like Demi Moore isn't going to sleep with Tom Cruise, what's the point of the film? And he was like, women have more uses than just sleeping around with Tom Cruise. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
uh, so I think odds were against her. And I think she did a good job. Tom Cruise does a brilliant job as a believable lawyer, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he did a good job. I think
While I don't
it's
believe well, there's moments where I'm like, oh, it's just Tom Cruise. It's not a real lawyer. There are moments where it's like, oh yeah, he studied something. He knows what he's talking about.
I yeah, like it's I think for him, it's hard for him to tread the line of scruffy comic relief versus serious
Hmm.
lawyer
Yeah.
because yeah,
Which
there's
majority of the
definitely
time he does
moments.
keep it outside the courtroom when he's trying to be funny.
Yes.
There are, and again, it goes back to character development in the courtroom. He is very much not as serious in the beginning, but gets to be more serious and more persuasive to the jurors at the end of the film.
Yeah, I think what's his friend's name that works with him?
I forgot.
Okay.
I forgot. I watched it when I got back, and I completely forgot the guy's name,
Yeah, so
who
the
also plays a great. And I'm feeling horrible about forgetting this guy's name, but
you
he is a
can look it
great
up.
like
Not
he
perfect
is a
here.
great character of kind of doubt. I think that he's supposed to show Tom Cruise's inner doubt because he thinks that those guys should be in prison for what they did, and he says that multiple times in the film to kind of be like, hey, like why are we defending these guys? You know, they clearly did it.
Mm-hmm.
And they shouldn't get less years. They should get more. Um, and so he's having this internal conflict while defending these guys, which I think is very interesting.
Kevin Polak.
Kevin Pollak. He's been in a couple other things.
Yeah,
In a
his face.
couple other
I
things.
recognize his face. Or his character
Mm-hmm.
name is Sam.
Yeah.
Um, but I think he did a good job for being almost a devil's advocate, but also at the same
Mm-hmm.
time being
He plays a great devil's advocate.
being
Devil's advocate.
he's also like that he's there to basically just keep Tom's feet on the ground almost.
Mm-hmm. Not
And
like these guys are completely innocent,
yeah.
like which Tom wants to believe. Very much like, hey, like remember these guys did do something undisputable
Yes. Yes.
to a crime. We are just defending the decision to do it. Was it theirs or somebody else's?
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Um, which is there's so many moving parts of this
There's
film,
so many
and
moving
I love it.
parts. I think
I
the
I love it.
honorable mention,
Honorable
the
mention.
opening of the movie, I thought
Hmm.
was strange as all get out.
It's supposed to be, and I think
I
that
know, but
makes it
it's
even better.
weird.
It's so
I
weird.
don't get it. I don't get it.
Why don't you talk about it a little bit?
It's just
What don't you get?
it's a lot of things that marching groups wouldn't do. Like they
Hmm.
just do a bunch of things that would not happen
Yeah.
when practicing your march, which I'm not saying that I've gone marching for any JROTC or anything like that.
Yeah.
But
I have. So
okay, so
yeah.
it's a
And
little bit of bull.
no, I don't. I don't. I don't. It's ROTC. I doubt it's anything as
It's
serious as
just
the
like
Marine
so
Corps.
many like just like the whole point of marching from what I understand is synchronization, and half of it is things happening one after another. Like the gun
Mm-hmm.
the guns that they're flipping are going down the line, then
Mm-hmm.
switching it back down the line, and switching it back down the line, just constantly moving it back up down the line.
Yeah.
Where I'm like,
So
uh
at least with that, it's the whole kind of psychology behind that was to train you is to kind of like train you to just learn how to be repetitive in your mind. Like what's
yes, but
like muscle memory. It's supposed to build muscle memory, get that part of your brain
from what
working.
I understand,
Right.
the whole point of learning to march
It is a weird opening
is the
scene.
synchronization piece of it. Like
It is a very strange
it's
opening scene.
I don't
100%.
yeah, it's just that was like the only one thing that tipped me off where I was like, this is odd.
Yeah.
I'm
But it
like, I
definitely
don't
picks up.
yeah. Oh yeah, it takes off to the
Also,
moon. But yeah.
the introduction to Jack Nicholson's character is superb. When he's reading the letter for Santiago,
Oh
basically saying, "Who
yeah.
the hell is this guy?"
Yeah.
It's like how did this guy get on my base? Like he's insulted that this guy got into my base,
yes.
right? And the way that he's like call up the president, tell him we're giving up our position because we're all gonna leave. Like
I immediately
kind of makes you
felt in the other guy's
yeah.
shoes that suggested
Well, you it
him
makes
leaving.
you it makes you in a few um sentences understand how this guy's brain works
Yes.
which is like we can't. I'm not going to give breaks to anybody, no matter who they are.
Mhm.
Right? If one person gets to leave, everyone should get to leave. We're all stuck here. We're all going to suffer together. And if he falls behind, he's going to have to learn the hard way that it's going to be tough, right? And not to justify Jack's character, but because he definitely is evil, for sure. He's
Yeah.
definitely
What
an evil
was
character.
the four things that one guy said? It was like the code, core, country, honor, or whatever. Like,
Oh, it was core God, honor country, core God honor country. I think it was to kind of like show you just. I think that character is supposed to represent all the Marines
yeah, like the guy that does.
and how they think to kind of, I guess, give like a be like to show Tom, hey, this is what we all think down there.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
how we all are thinking. It's like if there's an order, we follow it,
Mhm.
right? And even Jack kind of admits that is like you follow orders or people die,
Yes. Yeah, he does.
which is a great way to kind of put Tom in the winning position to win the trial.
Mhm.
To kind of say, like, why was Santiago in trouble if like your orders are never broken or people die?
Yeah.
It's like clearly somebody died, so
Clearly. So what's going on
clearly
here?
a rule was
Yeah.
broken. Clearly
Exactly.
something was broken,
And
and
it's
it's a
good.
great way to get Jack to get pissed, so that he'll eventually say that he ordered it, to say it wasn't a broken order, it was an order that I gave, right?
Oh, you
Because
know
I
what?
think he's more insulted.
Now that I think about it, I agree with what you're saying. But
Yeah.
the whole when she pulled Tom into the room saying if you feel like you can't get him out of it, don't go for it. And then in that
Mhm.
moment where he was like he had to decide to go for it or not go for it,
Right.
over
Outstanding.
dramatic.
When he gets up,
It's
oh,
over
you
dramatic.
don't like that.
Over dramatic. It
I feel like
it pulls in
I feel like it went for.
Tom's
Yep.
alternate character that's not supposed to be portrayed as a lawyer.
Yeah.
The
But
I didn't tell you to get up. I didn't excuse you from this courtroom. I was
see,
like,
I love
okay,
that.
like come
I
on.
love that. I love that. I love that there's moments where it's not just a trial but more of a show in it. Because I think it was just a trial would be somewhat boring.
I didn't
But the
find the
fact that you
trial
have kind of,
portion of it boring at all. I was on my toes the whole time. I don't think it needed a like
but there's a
one
lot of
minute,
moments in the
a
trial
whole
like
minute long of him just standing there like
standing there silent. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, it's not my favorite part of the film, but and it definitely could have been shorter. It did not need to
oh
be
yeah,
that
it was
long
just
of a
like
pause.
how long are we gonna sit here, bro? Come on.
But watching Jack get up and walk away, and then seeing Tom say "Get back here" is so great.
I was
I
just like,
love that moment. I love that
you're a
moment.
lawyer, bro.
Let's
Like
go.
what's
Let's go. Game time. Game time. Let's go. He's locked in. Is great. I love it.
yeah, I'm glad you loved it.
I love it. I love it. So, how are we going to rank these movies?
Okay, so we have a tier list on us today,
A tier
and
list.
we're gonna pause
I'll
for a
let you
second.
kind of give.
You know what? We're gonna pause for a
Uh,
second because
we're gonna
I need
pause for a second.
to figure out how I want to do this.
Mm,
We'll be right back in a second.
we'll be right back for a second.
Okay, guys.
All right,
So
we
I
couldn't figure
couldn't
it
get
out.
it. I don't know what's wrong with it. Like every time I try to make it work, it just goes away. So I'll edit it on post, but
Yep,
um,
it will make sense. It will
it
trust
will
us. It
make
will make
sense.
sense.
I promise. I
Yep,
promise.
we will figure it out. Um,
So
but
are we gonna
do
go
you
off
want to
of
explain how we're doing
a
it?
50-50, or do you want me to rank it and then you agree or disagree? Do we want to come to a median or a
Let's go for this one. I'll agree, disagree with whatever ranking you give.
okay? I'd say this. I'd say A Few Good Men
Mm-hmm.
is a solid A.
Is a solid A. Is okay. Okay, I disagree.
You
I disagree.
disagree.
I think it is a solid B movie. I think is it a solid B.
Okay.
I think is it a
Mm,
solid B. And you know what we could do? And I guess you might see this in post production whether or not we like to do this.
okay.
Is we'll put the poster up in our rankings,
Mm-hmm.
and for each of our rankings will be in different colors, so you know who put one movie where, like kind of a filter on the picture if we can. I don't know if we can do that, but
Yeah, I'll
you get what I'm
if
saying?
I
You
if
get
I'm
what I'm
able
saying
to
though?
do it, I will. But if not, I'm sorry.
But I'm gonna put it as a B. But for right
You
now,
want to
the
go B?
rankings will just be. I'm gonna go B. But for right now, the rankings are just gonna be what Josh wants to do, how
Yeah.
he wants to rank it.
Oh, because for you, you like all these movies. Like I have a
I do love all
fat
these movies.
chance where
I
I
don't
go
think.
into a movie and I'm just
Yeah,
like, uh-uh.
right, right.
So
And I don't think any of my
yeah,
movies are gonna be low. Truly, at least this early. I'm probably gonna end up putting bad movies on the list at some point.
yeah,
But for right now, I love all the movies that are on that list.
right,
So I think the lowest I'm gonna have is like a C
okay.
on it.
I'm willing
Tier
to
D. Tier D.
argue. I'm willing to argue a B, because I also agree with
You
like
change your mind. I'm just
the
telling. Like I've
the
seen so many movies. I think it's a B movie.
okay. Yeah, okay. You know what? Now that but that's the problem. I don't
It is.
have many contingencies with this movie. Like it's like
Just keep it at A. Just keep it at A.
okay. You know
Keep it at
what?
A.
It's an
Keep
A.
it at A.
It's an A.
And you know what? You know what? After each episode, we'll go back and say, is there anything you want to change now that you've seen another
Yes.
movie?
Yes.
I think that makes it even more interesting.
Yeah, we'll go back at the end of
But
every episode and
for right
look at it.
now, I'm gonna give it a solid B.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a solid B, and I
Okay.
think it is so close to an A. I don't think it gets there, but I definitely think it's a solid B. Great movie.
Okay.
But
All right.
I think that is everything that we have to go over
Yeah, that's it for today,
for our
folks.
for our film critiquing that we do now.
The film
I
critiquing
guess
that we do. I mean,
film critiquing.
you clearly love talking about it because you know all of these. You knew about this
I love it.
random
I truly do.
deal that she didn't want to, that she would not take $1 million less. I would have never known. Never known.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to hit you with those whenever I can.
Yep, and that's what this
Whenever I
pod
come
is
up across
about,
them.
baby. That's what this is about.
It's about the love of film in the eyes of somebody that doesn't love them,
Exactly, exactly.
and I think it's very interesting to me.
Yes.
Might not be to the
Yes.
people, but we'll see. We'll
We
see.
will find
We'll
out.
see. We will find out for sure.
Yes. But guys, let us know what you think about this because we have no idea what we're doing. Clearly.
This is years in the making of.
It honestly is years in the making. Like it
No, it
probably
isn't.
is. Nah, it
No, it
probably
isn't.
is.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
No,
No, it
you probably
ain't.
pitched this to me like last month and was like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very much a last minute. I think this is a cool idea type of conversation,
Mhm.
and yeah, just tell us what you think. If we can improve at all, we love to hear it.
Yes.
And what did you
Yes.
guys think about A Few Good Men? Uh,
Mhm.
we love to hear from you guys as well. But
Absolutely.
that's all I got. Josh, you want to add anything else before we close?
I would like to add is
There's the Baptist in me coming out. Do you want to add anything
you
before we
want to add
close
anything?
in prayer? You want to before we close? This is a Christian podcast,
Yes,
by the
this
way.
is a Christian podcast, by the way.
If my church is watching, it is a Christian.
Exactly. Yes. Only thing I'd add is if you're not following or subscribed on whatever platform that this is on, go do that.
Please do. Please do.
Yes. And like Boston said, let us know what you guys want to hear or see.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's a movie I'll already see, you will be banned.
Yep.
Yeah.
You will be banned.
You will be banned.
We do not want you back.
No. Actually, we
But
want you
yes,
to get
please suggest any movies because
Please. Because honestly,
we're running.
when he pitched me like half the movie, like
Yeah.
some of the movies, he would say a movie, and I'd be like, I see it, and he goes, "There's no way."
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
yeah,
And again, I I feel like my knowledge of cinema is average at best.
But you know more
But
than me, dog.
I,
You know
yeah,
more than me, and
but I would love to hear any films that you think me or Josh should watch, just to add to it. There's a ton of movies out there, and there's a ton of movies to watch.
mm-hmm.
You're never gonna watch them all, so we try to get the best, and that's what this is. But
Yes.
thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And Josh, you want to add anything else?
Hey, you want me to add more? Okay. I'm adding more. Goodbye. Leave. Go home.
Goodbye.
You have a
Goodbye.
house. Go sleep in it.
Be safe, y'all.
Yep.